Reduce, reuse, and redecorate. Today we're doing cast-offs into costumes. And while we are creating some costumes, we're going to ask ourselves the questions, why do we dress up? What does costuming do for us? Hi, I'm Dr. K.P. McKee, founder and executive director of a Spacious Place Creativity and Spirituality Center. And as we're creating some costumes out of leftovers, we would love to hear your ideas, any questions or comments that you might have. And today we have 3 costume ideas, so I will tell you the supplies for each one as we go through. So let's just get right into it. First of all, we're going to be making some capes. And for that, you are going to want some kind of plastic table cover. If you have, you can get it either like this, or you can get it on a roll and perhaps you've used it for a picnic or something and it's a leftover, something on the end of one of the rolls or something like this. It's a really inexpensive way to make a cape. And then you're going to want some permanent markers, or if it's a dark colored table cover like what we're using right here on this table, you're going to want some kind of a paint pen like this. A good pair of scissors is very important for all of these projects. And then for this one, you're going to also want a roll of the hook and latch sort of material. This one is the Velcro brand that is self-adhesive. And as an optional thing, you can use some duct tape, and I'll explain about that in a bit. Also, it's just nice to have some fingernail polish remover if you're doing anything like with adhesive-backed materials or duct tape, to occasionally clean your scissors because they will get gummed up on that. So it's just a little tip. So to make our capes, and I made this one for myself, I made a little pattern here, and you can either do that or you can cut it directly out of the table cover. You want about 7.5-inch diameter hole here for the neck. This was an entire sheet of poster board, but you'll want your cape to be a little bit longer than that. We had ours about, I guess, 3 inches longer than these. We have folks in wheelchairs and we didn't want it dragging in the wheels. Also, that'd be a good size for a child, but you're welcome to make them really long. You can even scallop the bottom to make it look more like bat wings if you're going to do something like this. So you want to take your table cover and fold it, and then this lays along the fold like this. So you're not going to cut here, but you will cut here, and then whatever length you want. This is one that I have made from black table cover. So once you get it cut like that, then you are going to, it'll open up. Maybe. Like this, yeah, and you'll have to cut right here, and then that is where you are going to fold it over, one side over the other, and do your adhesive back hook and latch. Now, this is the most fragile part of the cape, so if you have access to duct tape, you can reinforce as I've done on mine with the duct tape, if you can see right here. And then you are going to take it and decorate it however you want on the back. Again, if you're using a dark material like this, you're going to want paint pens. With lighter colors like mine here, you can use the Sharpies and they work just fine. And then you're just going to add a mask or some face paint. Get yourself some leggings and a t-shirt and you have a costume. Either superhero or something scary, up to you. So that is one idea. The second one is a Western vest that we're making out of an old grocery bag. So you're going to want a grocery bag, yes.
And it has to be paper.
Yes,
so
a paper,
real old
brown
grocery bag.
Old grocery bag like this. Although you can still get them at places like Central Market. And then you just want to draw on the front your design for your cutout. And I'll go ahead and cut this one out so you can kind of see, because then you have to do a little extra cutting once you get that done. So it cuts like this. And then however you want the bottom of the vest to go. I did this one way, and then the one I'm going to work on here in a little bit, I did a little bit differently so you can get some ideas of how you want to do it. So this one's a little bit more involved. I have 2 points here. So this is the costuming time of year, but we don't just do it at Halloween. There's cosplay and all kinds of other opportunities where folks enjoy dressing up in costume. And so I was wondering what your thoughts were about why we do that. All right, so you are here and you'll have some work that you need to do. So this is one that I have already completed and done that extra work on. So I cut the back out and more holes here on the sides. And this is a good size for a small adult or a child. If you are a larger person, you can cut down here on the back and add some the brown paper that often things are packed in, or if you have more grocery bags, and stretch it out and make it a good comfortable size for you. And so this is where I have come for the front here. Now, let's just make this a little bit more interesting. These are oil pastels. You can also use crayons for this. So I am going to do some stitching on mine. See, I had brought a brown one. Is this the brown one here?
I think there's one more still in there.
Ah, that's the one it was hiding. So I'm drawing some stitching along it. You can also use crayons with this. I just really love oil pastels. The colors are so nice and strong and bright. And one thought I had about why we love to wear costumes is because it enables us to imagine what our possibilities are. A lot of times we dress up in costumes and it signifies things about ourselves that we would love to grow into. So in that sense, it is empowering for us and also gives us something to work toward. In addition, it empowers our imagination because just like any kind of muscle, our imagination likes a little chance to work and stay fit. And also it just nourishes our creative soul and does us good. So there's nothing about creating that needs to be left behind in childhood. We are children of a creator, and so we need throughout our lifetime to create. And you'll want to also remember that you want to put the stitching on the back as well. Don't forget the back. I will not take time to do that right now because I'm going to show you another thing that you'll want to add. So I punched these out with a large hole punch, but you can also do this with scissors. And I'm going to put some buttons on here. So I'm going to add a little bit of buttons with my glue stick that's about to run out. I thought I'd gotten one that had plenty of glue, but anyway, we will make it work. And then, of course, I want to be sure and have my buttonholes over here. And then last, if I want to add a sheriff's star, I just had some old poster board that had been used for something else, cut a star shape out, and then covered it with aluminum foil. I can even write sheriff on here if I want. And then you're just going to glue that on, and then add some jeans and a bandana and a hat, and you have yourself, and obviously some boots if you have them, you have a costume of Western wear. All right, I'm going to get that out of the way so we can look at this one last one. So this is a crown cone. And if you have access to these water cones, like from the water fountain, all I did here was I just had some gold paint and painted them. You also can use any kind of permanent marker on these. You don't want to use water-based markers because they have wax finish and it'll just beat up. It won't do any good. So I have already started this one so we can just kind of see how it works as we finish it off. So you'll want to adjust it to whatever head you're working with, but you want to punch a hole in each side here. And then we're going to assemble this by running, I cut chenille stems into sections about 2 inches, 3 inches. You could also use those twist ties, like you get them at the grocery store for bread bags and produce, if you want to be real green. And then you're going to twist this together, and the important thing here is because we're wearing it on our head, you want to tuck them back inside, because if you don't, they will stab you, and that's not ever a pleasant experience. So I'm going to finish this one off here. And I just love these because there's so many things you can do with them, and they're so inexpensive. We did Statue of Liberty crowns with them, with some of the folks that we work with too, and that was a lot of fun as well. Painted them green. All right, last one. So I've made a circle here, and this is going to be more than big enough for this head that I'm going to put it on. Yeah, that's going to be so big she's going to wear it around her neck. Let me just take one off here. And one thing also you can do is you can take curling ribbon and you can tie it here in these sections in between. This looks really cool. I'll just show you with a couple, but you could do it all the way around. Let's see. And you can curl with the inside of this. You can also, if you're doing this with children, and these are all projects you can do with children, you can also use a craft stick to curl around so you're not using the blades of oh, it's still too big. So she's wearing a necklace, but you get the idea. And then you can also use the cones to make fascinators. Here are a whole bunch that we have done. And fascinators, you kind of wear them to the side, and we have cording here, so they go around and kind of off to the side, like miniature party hats. So we have ones here for the holidays, and this is just cotton balls. You can add some pom-poms if you'd like, and you can see the curling ribbon here. These were drawn on with permanent marker. This one we added some eyes and made it into a ladybug. And let's see, we have superhero ones here as well. And then the cat sort of things are very popular right now. So anything with ears, you can always do 2 together and make some ears. And then you can just add whatever you want, and you have your costume with that. So if you liked this, we'd love for you to give us a couple of thumbs up, and also you can review it on YouTube, on Facebook, and on our site www.aspaciousplace.com. Also, we will be doing things that are fun for costuming at our annual Gifted to Give event, which is right here, November the 10th at the Mary Lee Foundation. In the afternoon, and I just wanted to show you, we're also going to be making these dragon eye jewelry here that you can make, and then I have my shoe wings here that you can make, and we'll have several different colors of those. And we're going to be back on November the 3rd for Thanksgiving decor, and that you can make out of recycled things. So let's close with prayer, and thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, God, for opportunities to delight our souls by creating costumes and imagining our possibilities. Amen.